How can I, 32F, explain to my 33M partner I shouldn't struggle for money whilst he doesn't? How can I explain to my fiancé that I shouldn't struggle for money whilst he's not? I, 32F, have been with my 33M fiancé for 4 years now. We have always had different values around money, and now it's causing a real issue in our relationship. From a young age he has been very money driven and has done well for himself investing in properties and other things, meaning he has several streams of income and a large amount of savings. When I was younger I wasn't that great with money and regrettably lived month to month. I am now much better with money and have a small pot of savings, but it's much less than what he has. He believes that it's my own fault for never doing what he did to gain money, and that's that. Where it's really reared his head is we had a baby boy who is now 10 months old. I really wanted to take a full year's maternity but had not saved enough. I asked him if he could fund the last few months, as it would have been about 2% of his overall savings, but I've spent all of mine paying the bills during maternity. He declined and said it's my own fault for not having that money and he does not see why I feel entitled to it, then bought a Rolex a week later. I want to make it clear, I don't want his money for any personal gain but to support our son, as I want to give him the best possible life. I've tried to explain I've actually put my career on hold for 18 months whilst pregnant and then on maternity leave and forfeited my bonus this year. I've also spent all my savings on bills so I could be home with my son. He doesn't seem bothered that I'm now struggling for money and he's not. How can I make him see we should be financially secure as a family and I shouldn't be worried sick about money when he has plenty? Update. Wow, I didn't expect this response and it's taking me a while to get through them. Thank you firstly for the love and support from some of you. There's a lot of people questioning why I even had his child, as valid as a point that is, it's not helpful. We did discuss finances before and he said that our son would never go without. I just didn't realize that meant if I couldn't afford half, we'd get it secondhand or at the charity shop. Perhaps I should have asked for more details in that initial chat.
Lastly, it looks like it's time for me to find a solicitor and discuss my next steps. Thanks again. I guess sometimes you don't realize how wrong a situation is in when you're deep in it.
What a strange, clashing, disengaged relationship you have. I'm surprised that you two embarked on a relationship and the responsibility of parenting together without being clear about how things would play out financially, especially if you were already aware of each other's financial styles. You two do not feel like a team at all. I'm curious what you get from this relationship and if you actually love him or secretly resent him.
Wow, wait. And what is he contributing to his child?
I'm an older lady and my children are grown. Just for perspective, here's my take. It's one thing to keep separate finances as two adults. I can somewhat understand the reasoning that each person should be responsible for themselves, so long as there is equity in non-financial aspects and the person with greater assets is reasonable and generous about extra expenses, vacations, childcare, etc. Your fiancé seems to care more for his money than his family. He allowed you to deplete your savings to care for the child you created with him, without thought to the extra physical and emotional, mental price you paid to do so. This is not a loving, supportive partner you can count on if things go badly. This is a man who will say, "Sucks to be you," and let you suffer. He is not marriage material even though you share a child. Do not marry him. It won't be good for your son to live in such a cold and unfeeling home. Also, don't let him tell you the court will give him full custody because he has more money. I can't speak for other countries, but in the US the court chooses based on fitness and child welfare, and the one who earns more pays more support. Good luck, heart. Should you decide to go to counseling prior to the decision to end the relationship, be aware that it could lead to a very temporary behavior modification on his end where he resents you the entire time and, once you are married, snaps back to his former ways, which is how he truly is in his heart. The kind of change your circumstances call for is a serious heart change, and that is not going to occur through any type of counseling. This guy obviously holds deep belief systems and attitudes that required a lifespan to form. These typically won't change apart from some form of crisis and subsequent choice, coupled with hard work to make the necessary course corrections. I really believe you need to speak with an attorney. Don't tip your hand to him because he could start hiding money. Go to an attorney and get your ducks in a row. Get a plan and then tell this man you will be settling up in court.
It won't be an easy decision to make, but in the long run, you will see it truly was the best one you could make. I can't imagine being married to such a selfish dolt of a man. The strain it causes you now is only a mere glimpse into what awaits you if you marry him. Keep us posted.
Leave him and file for child support. He's not a partner to you in any way, but at the very least should be contributing to his child's welfare. You'll be better off on your own. Randomly buys a Rolex after having a child. What a clown. Please do not marry this man. He doesn't look at you as a partner. You're asking him for help to better your child's life and he said no, and bought himself a gift instead. This was deliberate. You will not be able to make him see your side. File for full custody and ask for child support. He doesn't consider you as a family. He thinks of himself first. And this won't change. Why would you have kids with the man who won't even give you a dime? It was such a bad idea to have a child with this man without more protection in place. Y'all have very different values and he is not approaching raising your child as a team. If anything, you should prepare for the inevitable end as he isn't interested in supporting y'all's child in the same manner you want to. What's the point of having a family if the wealth is not shared between two partners that share a child together? File for child support. He isn't contributing to his child. I would never marry someone that didn't view my struggles as theirs and vice versa. Marriage is supposed to be a partnership. My husband would never just sit around watching me struggle and tell me it's my own fault. We tackle all of life together regardless of our differing incomes. Oh girl, you've got bigger problems than those 2 months. You sacrificed your body and your mental health at times to raise that child. The least he can do is foot the bill. And I mean for the entire year. Consider some couples therapy before you marry this man. I guess this kind of depends. Do you love being with him more than you love feeling like an equal and valued partner? If you don't leave him and get child support. I just got a divorce about 3 years ago and the judge took both of our incomes and settled it from there. My ex-husband made 3/4 of the combined income. The child support worksheet evens up the expenses of the child, even down to things like who purchases the school clothes, winter coats and the insurance for the children. I know that everybody hates going through the courts, but when you have a difficult ex who doesn't want to help, the courts are there for that. Also, usually when you start the child support process, they encourage you and your lawyers to work it out without ever having to see a judge. And every child support case I've been to in the last 3 years has been on Zoom. This is not the typical Reddit jump to divorce him. By all means, I hope you guys work it out. I'm just letting you know that if he chooses not to work it out with you, you don't have to be miserable. There are things put in place to help you if you want it. I would not be engaged to a man like this. He should want to do this for you. The fact that you're begging and he's telling you, nope, this is your own fault and your own problem, woman shrugging. Then he buys a Rolex? Just leave. Wait, did you pay the bills during your own maternity? Then for WTF is he investing and saving for? Not taking care of the family financially.
Idiots having kids, sigh.
How is that fair to you? You're watching the baby while he can work and not pay for childcare. Does he not realize that? It's not only your kid but his too that he needs to care and pay for. If you worked, who would be responsible for the childcare cost? Would he make you foot the whole bill? Op. You do know that if you leave this guy and file for child support, you will likely get more money than now. And will have less work and less stress, right? And you can even find a partner that loves and appreciates you. Do you generally feel supported and respected by him? This doesn't sound like a loving, cooperative dynamic. Why do you clearly dysfunctional couples manage to give birth to kids when stuff like this reeks of red flags?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.